Hello and thank hello and thank you for attending the video training slash webinar for the Ricoh Model SP4510 SF printer. This training is in use for anybody who is a present day manager or assistant manager or new up and coming management that's changing throughout your time period. We do encourage that the training videos are viewed or webinars attended so that you will decrease your possible downtime by learning everything that's being addressed in the webinar slash video training. Okay, now what we cover in this webinar is the functionality of the printer, and then we move on to the maintenance of the printer. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the functionality of the printer. Within the functionality of the printer, the first thing we talk about is the gray tray at the top called the auto document feeder. The auto document feeder can take up to 50 pages face up. You don't want to put any staples or paper clips through, nor do you want to put any sticky notes through. That'll cause paper jams. You also don't want to put any whiteout or correct tape through, and I'll explain why in just a second. If you lift up the scanner cover, you will see the large piece of glass, and then you also see out to the left of that a small sliver of glass. That small sliver of glass is where the auto document feeder scans and copies. So if you put whiteout or corrected tape through the auto document feeder, it will go through and scrape that whiteout or corrected tape right on that small sliver of glass and leave it there, causing lines through your copies and scans. So you don't want to put whiteout or corrected tape through the auto document feeder. If someone does, you can clean the glass, but you do not want to use any Windex or any type of glass cleaner, nor do you want to use liquid directly on the printer. What you want to use is a damp cloth of water or alcohol and wipe down both sets of glasses. Now with the auto document feeder scanning glass, you'll see a plastic surrounding piece here that holds the glass in place. You want to clean the nooks and crannies of that underneath in there under the plastic, because the whiteout or corrected tape can get stuck in there and still leave those little pieces that will cause lines through your copies or scans. So you want to really clean thoroughly in that area. Once done, go ahead and close the scanner cover. The next section we want to talk about is the console, where all the buttons are. At the bottom right side of the console is the start button. It'll light up blue when it wants you to push it. Right now it's lit up red because there's no icons or functions that are selected in the screen. That's why it turns blue. At the left side of that start button is the stop button. The stop button will pause your current job. It will not cancel it. And it'll show you on the screen that it is paused. And it'll ask you if you want to cancel it on below right beneath. If you do, at the bottom right side of the screen, you'll see either a stop button or a jobs list button. You would use that to cancel your job. Above the stop button is the numeric keypad. That's where you can express the correct number of copies or the fax number you want to fax to if you do have a dedicated fax line. Above the numeric keypad, you'll see a yellow reset button. The yellow reset button resets the printer back to its normal or default settings. Say, for example, you make 5 copies and say, oh, I only wanted to make 2. You can press the stop button on the console to pause your job, then the stop or jobs reset button at the bottom right side of the screen to cancel it. Then you can press the yellow reset button, and in this case it'll reset the the number of copies from 5 copies back down to 1, which is its normal and default setting. Then you can press the correct number of copies in the keypad and then press start. The last button I want to talk about in the console is the home button at the top left. That brings you back to your main icons or main home menu. If you select any icon or menu item that you wish, copy, scanner, whatever, and you're in that particular menu, you want to go back to the home menu, just simply press the home button and it'll get you back to the 5 or 6 icons that are on the main screen. That is it for the actual functionality of the printer. The next section we're going to talk about is the maintenance of the printer. The first thing in the maintenance of the printer is we're going to talk about is adding paper. So in adding paper, I want to simulate a add paper symbol. So you simply go ahead and open up the paper tray, and you're going to see at the bottom left side of the screen a symbol flashing. It'll simply be a red symbol with a white rectangle and a white lines through it and an arrow pointing down. When you see that symbol flashing, that means to add paper. In this printer, you could add a full ream of paper. You simply insert it into the back of the printer, or in the back of the paper tray, and lay it down flat on the paper tray. and then close the tray. That's all you have to do. You don't have to mess with any mechanism inside the paper tray. That's all you have to do. We want to make sure you don't add damp paper, crumpled paper, creased paper, or folded paper, nor do you want to take paper you just printed out, flip it over, and put it back in the paper tray. That will all cause paper jams. In addition, any more than 500 sheets of paper will also cause paper jams. We also want to let you know that you are allowed to use recycled paper. We never ever tell our clients that they cannot use recycled paper. However, if you use recycled paper, it has a high propensity to jam. So if you get a jam and you're using recycled paper, you kind of know why. One thing we do want to mention before we move on from adding paper is something that's very, very important in the paper tray. So if you can remove your paper tray by lifting up from on the front of the paper tray and lifting up and out, and remove the paper, okay, if you already inserted paper, you're going to look inside the paper tray and you're going to see in the back of the paper tray inside a gray rectangle with a green lever behind it. That gray rectangle should have a label saying do not move. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. It's not that important, but it does let everybody know not to move it. Now also I want to add do not move or touch it. If you move or touch it, you will find out you'll have ghost paper jams and you'll have no clue why or where. So please make sure everybody in the office knows not to move or touch this gray rectangle or green lever. So to put the paper tray back in, go ahead and lift up the paper tray in the front, reinsert it back into the printer, bring it down so it's level, move it in and out, secure as long as it's rails, and then you can go ahead and add paper and paper. Again, inserting the paper into the back of the paper tray, right down the front, and then simply close the paper tray. The next thing we're going to talk about is adding toner. In adding toner, you will see, when you are low on toner, you will see another symbol flashing at the bottom left side of the screen. It'll look similar to the paper symbol, but it'll be a little different. It'll still be a red symbol with white rectangle on it, but instead of white lines in the middle, you're going to see 6 dots in a pyramid shape and an arrow pointing down. When you see that symbol flashing, that means you are low on toner. When you see it go from flashing to steady, that means you're out of toner. You can't make any more prints, any more copies, you're done. Okay? Please, please, please change the toner when it's low on toner, when it is flashing. Don't wait till it turns steady or when it's out. Okay, in addition, you will also probably see a yellow light flashing right underneath the check status button. You will see that light flashing for multiple reasons, so please make sure that you pay attention to the screen as to what is it saying. If you are questioning what the problem is because of the yellow light flashing, press the check status button and it should show you on the screen. To change the toner, you want to go over to the right side of the printer. And you're going to see on the right side towards the front a gray button. Okay, that gray button, go ahead and push that gray button and it pops open the front cover. And you're going to come back to the front cover and reach inside the center of the printer where the paper is eventually going to come out and pull down the front cover, and you're going to see a large green handle. You're going to grab that large green handle by the ridged area in the center and pull the entire unit out. You're pulling both drum and toner out, the drum and the toner. You're pulling both out. You must remove both drum and toner in order to change the toner in this machine. Once you have the drum and toner out, you go ahead and put it on the table. Now, I am showing you on the printer only for the purposes of this training video / webinar. Do not put the drum and toner on the printer at all. At all times, put it on the table, please. Okay, and in removing the toner from the drum, to the right of the large green handle, you're going to see a small green lever. You're going to pull down that small green lever and then push it down to release the cartridge. It'll pop out a little bit. Don't grab the toner yet, you'll just see it pop out. To remove the toner cartridge, you're going to grab the green handle, but not by the ridged area in the center. That'll break the toner. You're going to grab just to the right of the ridged area and pull the toner straight out. So, just like that. Okay. Once you got the toner removed and you want to put your new toner in, on each side of the toner cartridge, you're going to see, in this case, it's red or pink lines, okay? But in your case, you'll most likely have yellow dots, okay, on each side of the toner cartridge. You're going to grab the toner cartridge by the green handle. This time you can grab by the ridged area. On each side of the drum, you're going to see 2 yellow dots on each side, okay? So you're going to insert the cartridge making sure the yellow dots, in this case mine are red or pink lines, go right in between the two yellow dots on each side of the drum. You're going to insert it straight in, not angled left or right or up or down, straight in. And push it all the way in. Make sure the bottom is completely flat. Okay? Once it's all the way in, you're going to see on the inside wall of the drum two locks, two green locks and white dots underneath. Those locks and white dots must be completely unobstructed. If they're obstructed even the tiniest, the cartridge is not in all the way, so you got to push it in further. If they are good, you're going to see the small green lever lift up. You're going to lift it up all the way and lock it in place. Once it's lifted up and locked in place, you're ready to put the drum and toner in. But not yet. I need to show you something that's very important. You're going to now, what I need to point out to you is you're going to see inside the printer two yellow triangles. Those two yellow triangles are part of a caution level. If you look to the right of those two yellow triangles, you're going to see 4 metal pins. Those 4 metal pins are extremely sensitive. If you touch, bend, or break them, you've broken the printer. So we got to be careful not to do that. Okay, so when you insert the drum and toner back in, you're going to take it by the large green handle by the ridged area in the center. Okay, that's considered the back end of the drum and toner. Okay, you're going to lower the front end downwards so you miss those 4 metal pins and slide it right on in. And you hear a ka-chunk when it goes in. Once it's in, go ahead and close the front cover. Make sure both sides are closed. And that is how you change toner. The next section we're going to talk about is dealing with paper jams. Now this is a commercial grade printer and it's not supposed to jam. However, if you do get a jam, you're going to see another symbol flashing at the bottom left side of the screen. When you see that symbol, it will not look like any of the symbols we've talked about. It will simply be a squiggly line flashing. When you see that symbol flashing, that means you have a paper jam. Okay? The first location a paper jam can occur is in the paper tray itself. This printer, you can actually open up the paper tray and close the paper jam. In all instances of any paper jam whatsoever, you're going to use the following method to remove all paper jams. You're going to use both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Do not use one hand, do not pull fast. If you do either of those, you're going to tear the paper and cause more paper jams, or you could break the printer. If there is no paper jam in that tray section area, there is a second area where a paper jam can occur. In this case, we have to remove the paper tray once again. So you're going to bring it out till it stops and lift up from the top, bring it up and out. Now, I'm going to tilt the printer for webinar video training purposes only. Do not tilt the printer, please. This is only to show you exactly where you're going to find the second paper jam. Okay, so as you look, I'm going to lift this printer up. You're going to see on the inside of the printer a roller in the center. And then to the left of the roller, you're going to see a blue lever labeled Z. Simply pull that lever down and you'll open up a compartment where another paper jam can occur. And once again, you use both hands, pull the paper jam as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, or if there's no paper jam in that section, simply lift up the cover, make sure both sides are closed. Very important, otherwise you're going to have problems with the paper. Okay, once they're closed, we can reinsert the paper tray. Remembering that you lift up from the front, reinsert the paper tray, bring it down so it's level, move it in and out so it moves on its rails, and then close the paper tray. The next section where a paper jam can occur is in the drum area section, where we had to deal with the toner. So once again, this is the third section. Once again, we're going to open up the front cover by pushing this gray button on the right side, and then pull down the front cover to reveal the green handle again. Okay. Then we're going to remove the drum and toner again just by grabbing the large green handle by the ridged area and pull the entire unit out and put it on the table. Once removed, you're going to see inside the printer a blue lever labeled B right here. Okay. You lift up that lever and it opens to another compartment. In that compartment is where another paper jam can occur. And once again, you use both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, let go of the lever and it should plop down. If it doesn't, kind of lightly push it and it will come down. Once that area is cleared, if there's no paper jam, we can reinsert the drum, remembering that again, you grab the green handle by the ridged area and then lower the front end down so you miss those 4 metal pins and slide the drum right on in. You hear a good chunk and it goes in, and then close the front cover. The next area where paper jam can occur is actually in the back of the printer. And in the back of the printer, you're going to see a gray door with a gray lever on the top. Simply lift up that lever and bring down the entire gray door. And you're going to see 2 gray ridge levers at the bottom right and bottom left. You want to lift up both gray levers, doesn't matter which one's first, just as long as both are lifted up. Then you're going to see 2 loopholes you can grab hold of, put your fingers through, and pull up and out, and you're going to remove this entire unit. This unit is called the fusing unit. You must remove the fusing unit from the back in order to clear the paper jam in the back. And you go ahead and put the fusing unit right on the table. Once removed, you'll see this wide open space. That wide open space is where another paper jam can occur. And again, use both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, there may be a paper jam in the actual fusing unit itself. So what you want to do is take a look at the fusing unit. I'm going to use, again, the video so you can see, but you normally do this on the table, okay? Where the loopholes are considered the back end of the fusing unit. You want to go to the front end of the fusing unit, and you're going to see this wide open space here at the bottom with a roller inside. That's where one paper jam can occur. And again, you use both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, or if there is no paper jam, there is another section where on this fusing unit where another paper jam can occur. If you go into the back to the back of the fusing unit where the loopholes are at, and if you look to the top right of the fusing unit, you see a blue lever. Lift up that blue lever and swivel up that entire section, and you'll see another opening space where a paper jam can occur. And once again, you use both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, go ahead and bring down the lever and swivel it back down. Now, the paper jams in the fusing unit can stick or be sticky or have difficulty being removed. If you are having difficulty with the fusing unit removing the paper jam, there is a green lever on the back of the fusing unit that you can pull down. Now, you have to be careful, it's spring loaded. So you got to bring it down firmly. And once it's down, you can probably remove the paper jam a lot easier from the front or the top, a lot better, a lot smoother. But please remember, that green lever must go back up. Now, it's going to snap back up when you bring it back up because it's spring loaded. Okay, so be careful, watch your fingers. That green lever should never ever come down unless you're clearing a paper jam in the fusing unit or if you're printing out envelopes. It always remains up. If it does not, you're going to find out you'll have double images in your printing and you have no clue why. Okay. Once the paper jam is removed, go ahead and grab the fusing unit. We're going to put it back in. You're going to grab it by the loopholes again. Now on each side of the fusing unit, you should have, in this case mine are red or pink lines. You should probably have yellow lines on yours, but you may or may not have red or pink lines. On each side of the back of the printer, you will see yellow or pink or red slots. So you're going to insert those tabs, the red or pink tabs or yellow tabs, into those red or pink or yellow slots, right in between. Slide it right down and in, and push it all the way in. Make sure it's fully pushed in. Once it's fully pushed in, you're going to bring down the 2 gray ridge levers. 2 gray ridge levers. Make sure both gray ridge levers are down. Once they're down, you can go ahead and close the front cover and make sure both sides are closed. Now that officially actually ends the official jamming of the printer. However, there is one more section of paper jam can occur, and that's in the auto document feeder area. If you get a paper jam here, you don't want to just yank it out. There is a cover with a lever in the middle that you want to simply lift up the lever and lift up the cover. Once that cover is lifted, then you can remove the paper jam. Again, using both hands, pull as close to the paper jam as possible, pulling down and out very slowly. Once removed, go ahead and close the cover. Make sure both sides are closed. Now that is the official end of the printer training. However, there are 3 things you must know when it comes to dealing with us and our printers. The first thing, you must keep the box and all the forms, the foams, the tape, the CD, and the manuals. Do not throw them away. Do not break them down. In case you need to transport the printer or send it back to us. Second, ordering toner. When you want to order toner is when you put the last toner cartridge in. You don't want to wait till you put the last cartridge in and when it's halfway done or all the way done. As soon as you put the last toner cartridge in is when you want to order toner. And ordering toner, our phone number should be posted right on the front of the printer. It's 888-944-7670. Call that number and say you need to order toner. Also, when you're done with the toner, you must keep all empty toners. Never throw them away, recycle them, or give them to somebody else. Keep all empties. When you reach 4 empty toners, you call that same number, 888-944-7670, and you say, Heath, I got 4 empty toners. At that time, you should have a box already with probably another drum and 2 toners. So I'm going to take those 2 toners and drum out, put the 4 empty toners in, package them up real well, and seal the box. We will email you a FedEx label that you simply put on top of the box, and then you would give it to FedEx and it will come back to us. The last thing I want to tell you is those who have attended this webinar in video presentation are the key operators. What that means is anybody can use the printer, anybody can add paper. But only the key operators, those who viewed the video or attended the webinar, can add toner and deal with paper jams. If that person is not there, they must be called. If they are not available, they must call us through that same number, 888-944-7670. That is officially the end of the webinar, and I thank you for attending and listening and watching. You have a great day.